I was.
Yeah, 7:01, yep.
Okay.
We can start.
Good evening, welcome to the August 17th meeting.
Mic on. There you go.
Good evening, welcome to the August 17th, 2017 zoning board of appeals meeting. All members are present, full members are present except for Mr. Ossiani. Our two associates are not present, but Mr. Benson, the associate, will be here for our hearing at 7:45. Okay. With that, minutes of July 20th, 2017. Anybody have any comments, complaints, anything that?
I did have one, I'm sorry to nitpick again, Toby, my apologies.
That's okay.
Page 3, under other news.
Yep.
It looks
Tony
like you're looking for the
DeLuzio.
last name of Mr. Deluzio. We can give you that spelling so we can
Oh,
update.
okay.
I think it's D-I-L-U-Z-I-O.
ZZO. Do you know?
D-I-L-U-Z-I-O.
Oh, ZIO. Is the L,
I think it is capital, yeah.
capitalized?
I think it is.
Okay.
Does that sound right?
Is that right?
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
That was all my only change.
Anybody else have anything? Hear a motion to,
So moved
with the
The
change?
motion is to accept as amended.
as amended, yeah.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Can I, 1 second?
Yes.
Toby, what do you have the spelling? D-I-L-U-Z-I-O.
And is the L capitalized?
L capitalized.
Okay, yeah, that's what I've got. Thank you.
Okay, next thing on the agenda is Mr. Ali. Come on up, Mr. Ali. Let's get the easy stuff out of the way. Okay. At our last meeting, it was brought to the board's attention about these, we didn't know what they were at first, these heat pumps. Mr. Witkus brought those up to our attention. So I contacted the building inspector. He went out and he gave us these pictures. Did you see these, Charlie?
Yes.
Okay. You saw these too? These pictures of the heating pumps? All right. And so, you know, it came to, it was not something that was on the original plan that got approved. I mean, originally it was gonna be gas heat, now it went to electric. Am I correct?
There's options, we have two
Okay, it
options.
was option, okay. But that was not on the plan, okay? At least it didn't show anything on the plan. So I talked to the town administrator to see, after I talked to the building inspector, he showed me the pictures. He and I both talked to the town administrator. She contacted town council, and town council basically said that it's a decision, you know, however the board wants to feel. So I made a decision to call VHB to go out and inspect to see, you know, get their thoughts on it. And last week, they went out there, what day was that? Last Friday, I think it was. Yeah, last Friday. And we met, it was Larry Delkowski from VHB, myself, and we were met by Mr. Ali. And Mr. Ali was gracious enough to take us around the whole site. We went to Building C, Building B, Building A, Building C. The apartments are really nice. I mean, big, huge washer and dryer in each unit. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen them that big in an apartment, but, you know. Anyways, so, the reason I asked Larry to come out from VHB was to see, you know, about this. And Mr. Ali took us into one of the units in C, and we asked him to turn on the unit, and it made minimal noise. And when you went out to the balcony, you could feel, you know, the heat coming off, you know, So, but other than that, Larry wrote in his report that the noise impact to the abutting units or the occupants of the unit was minimal on an individual basis. And when Mr. Alvey activated the unit, and the noise internal to that unit was minimal. All three of us did agree that the visual impact was not aesthetically pleasing and that alternate locations were not practical. So, anyways, does the board have, before we move on, does the board have any other questions for Mr. Ali about this? Because this is what's gonna happen, this is all in C, and this is what's gonna happen in B and A.
How much more will it cost to heat and cool the apartments with this electric heater than it will for gas? What will be the difference?
The problem is we don't have natural gas there. I had offered natural gas people calm gas that I'll dig the trench up till the site for 1.5 miles, will they put the pipe in? And they told no, they don't want to do it.
So they won't do it, they won't put gas in there.
Other option I had was propane gas, putting 10,000 gallons of 3 tanks on building C, 2 tanks on building B, and maybe a 12,000 gallon on building A. And those will be big above ground tanks. Plus, I cannot control propane gas prices because it is individually and they go up and down like anything. It will not be stable. Whereas West Boylston Electric and Shrewsbury Electric, those prices are pretty consistent and very stabilized, and it's a lot better than Mass Electric prices. And when my engineer worked out all the numbers, he told it's better to go with heat pumps. That's a new technology nowadays, we are using it. Those are the most efficient. It's equivalent to natural gas, little expensive than natural gas. It's more expensive than oil and propane gas. Propane gas is the highest one we came up with, price-wise running it. Looking at the stability of apartments, I want people to stay there with not paying extra bills. If I would have gone with propane gas also, I will have a condenser. For air conditioning, we have to have a condenser outside. Right. Either way, the condenser cannot move. It has to be placed somewhere. Since the board had decided to go with gable roofs, I cannot put any units on the ceiling because I cannot place any of the condensers. If that's the case, we can. Some apartments we do it on the ceilings, means on the roof. But in this case, we couldn't do that either. Either way, every AC unit has to have a condenser which is going to be placed outside.
That's for the condensation and okay.
Humidity and condensation.
Now, these heat pumps, they don't cause a lot of condensation, do they? No, okay, so there's not, so somebody sitting on the first floor and somebody on the third floor that has, second floor, it's not gonna drip down on them.
No.
Okay.
It comes through the air handler which is inside the unit,
Okay.
which is plumbed down all the way to the basement.
Okay.
The condensation is going to be there where we have air handler. I showed you the air handler in the closet,
Right.
which manages this equipment from outside to inside, and it's a minimal distance, so we don't have much hot or cold loss because of the minimal distance. Engineering says if you have every foot you go out, you lose certain percentage of heat or AC.
Okay. Does that answer your question, Charlie?
Is this going to screw up your economy of running running this housing complex? It seems like that's a disaster. If you were planning on gas, it seems as though it's going to make it not economical. It's not going to be a cheap operation. It's going to be expensive.
Not with heat pumps.
No?
No, this is not electric heat. This is heat pump heat. This works up till minus 20 degrees without kicking a heater. It works on the heat pump. It's just a pump like a well running at your house. It's a pump which keeps on pumping, taking the heat out or AC out. It works both ways. It takes the AC and heat, both from the same thing.
And the tenant is going to have to pay for the electricity for the heat pump. I'm not too happy with that, but there's nothing that we can do now. If they don't put gas up there,
They don't
you
want
have
to
to
do
use
it.
electricity.
If you put propane, it will be more expensive than electric heat.
Uh-huh.
Because propane, no one can control it. As soon as winter comes in, the graph goes up.
Yeah,
Now, initially they'll do good with the developer, they'll give you a good deal for a year, and then they'll jack up the price.
So there's no natural gas on that street at all, is there, Raj?
Not up till up
There's no
till 2
natural
miles.
gas on that, on North Main Street?
I have no idea.
We have it on Route 12.
Okay, all right. So you contacted them, and they said they're not gonna do it? Okay, well,
Either way, if you look at it, the other option was propane gas, and propane gas was very expensive.
too much to understand.
So what's the lifetime of this unit? And when it get old, will it make more noise?
No, Mitsubishi, I did the best units. Mitsubishi units are the best unit in the industry. You can do your research.
What's the lifetime? What's the lifetime?
Lifetime is 22 years.
So after 10 years, will it make more noise? Yes, right?
I don't know. I'll let you know. I'll talk to my
After 10
engineer.
years?
And my engineer was telling the pumps usually are not making noises. The fan starts making noise. If you have a regular condenser at your house, that will make noise also. You must have heard it in your condenser in your house. It does, when it cranks up, it does make little noise and then it goes away. It's like a fan.
So that time, will you be changing it?
Obviously, if it is making that much sound, first customer will be living in the apartment will be complaining. This is designed to be hanged on the wall. Outside the building, it can be hanged on the wall, so that even then it doesn't make noise, they say. But I put it on a deck, knowing that I don't have to have any problems.
So even though, even the deck, it does blocks one of those doors, right? How much it is blocking? That door is a fixed door? Fixed?
That door is fixed.
What about the kids going there, playing on the thing?
It's all safe, secured.
Right.
now, obviously, there's a maintenance plan for this. I mean, every year or so, somebody will go out there and check, every 6 months.
Every 6 months they go and change the filters, check the unit out,
Okay,
and it's part of our maintenance plan with Peabody.
okay.
They have a maintenance guy who comes in every 6 months, changes all the filters. It's all well managed.
And so if there's a problem, it'll get fixed, right?
It will be fixed right away. It's an in-house fixing people, and Peabody, I have trust in Peabody. Peabody does a very good job.
Just one quick question that I have. So it said in the letter from VHB that on an individual basis, it didn't make, a significant amount of noise. So my question is, between building C, B, and A, I imagine we're gonna have, 20 of these, 30 of these?
It's the same sound,
Um,
same velocity. It will be the same one.
But between that many, you're not gonna hear like a low humming necessarily or anything?
It's
I'm
like
just trying to think.
it's like a car going on one party.
Okay,
That's how.
okay. And I understand that no matter how you do it, with AC, there's gotta be a condenser.
If it
whether
is
it's this-
gas or electric or
Something
anything,
else.
if you have AC, you have to have a condenser.
Fair enough.
Anything else about that?
No.
Charlie, anything else?
There's nothing else we can do.
Okay, right. Okay. The main reason that we asked Mr. Ali here, well, thank you for that information, but one of the other things is talking about the landscape. I know that back in, what was it, March or April, Toby? That we talked to him about this, said that we would continue this, and in August. Well, here it is, August, and I know that one of the things that you said is that by Halloween, you'd have the plantings done, okay? And so what we want to see is, have you set a date?
Wednesday plants are coming,
When?
this Wednesday.
This Wednesday, okay? And when, are you going to start planting on Wednesday?
Yes. I was waiting for I had to put a well because West Boylston Water didn't want to give any irrigation water to
Okay.
the project, so we drilled a well, and irrigation guy is coming on Monday, and plants are getting there on Wednesday.
Okay.
Are you getting water over there?
From the well.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Okay, so right now,
How depth you went there?
I went 200 feet deep and I have 17 gallons a minute.
okay.
That will do the whole project.
And so, as far as the plants that are coming, those are just gonna be just the stuff over by Building C where we talked about?
Yes.
Okay.
And building B, and the entrance also I'm doing some. Then I'll wait.
Now, what exactly are we planting?
What exactly is in the plan? But I was looking at a couple of things, but it's up to the board how they want to handle it. The planting wise, some of the plants, they are 8 to 10 feet wide, height plants. Up here, I think the still water
Okay.
people have a concern about fencing over.
And how many of those?
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And that's the Norway spruce, right?
Yeah.
And those will grow anywhere from 8 to 10 feet?
It starts from, those are 8 footers we are bringing in.
Okay,
And that will grow. And this location is what's on the plan.
yeah,
I have 10 trees there anyhow, but I want to see, there are some spots over here and here where you can see the houses.
okay.
So many places is not. I don't want to change the plan till I talk to the board, otherwise it will be done as per the plan. Or I can work with the neighbors and work it that way.
Any questions?
Yeah, yeah. Come on up, come on up.
The only thing I ask is just,
When I look at the.
excuse me, just state your name and address for the record, please.
Robert Holman, 12 Stillwater Heights. John Onesian, 8 Stillwater Heights.
This is how it's been approved. For me to do that. Instead of 3 or 15 feet apart, 15 to 20 feet apart, you have it here. But I think, here I think I can see this house. I don't know whose house this is. Yeah. Yeah. And I think this will be covered, it will take about 5, 6 years, but it will grow.
So why don't you add on a couple of more trees?
Right.
Let me
Why
ask
don't you add on
you,
a couple of more trees?
Does ZB have any funds for me?
can those trees,
No.
can they be spread out a little bit more than what they are?
No,
To kind of fill in?
they have to have that certain,
They have to have a
They
certain,
have to
okay,
place it in certain
Okay,
systems, so
alright.
yeah, in 5, 6 years, everything will grow.
okay.
So create a barrier once they've grown in, you're saying?
Yeah, it will be there.
Why, what's the reason for this gap here?
There's no gaps here. That's
Well,
how we're
it's an
going.
open end.
We have, we have dumpster pad here, and we have, the playground here. This is all pretty much covered. Only section is a little bit here, and something over here.
And these will grow to a height, you said, of 8 to 10 feet?
It starts from 6 to 8 feet, I think, spruce up, and, by the time it grows, 8 to 10 feet high. We are getting 8 to 10 feet high. Then it grows pretty fast.
this one.
Will there also be a fence here? Over this, the land, is open,
Yes.
no fence?
Fence is up here. They want to do a fence now. Yes.
Any other questions, gentlemen? Okay.
And when were those going in, you mentioned?
Wednesday, we are getting the plans and hopefully, if it doesn't rain hard, we had a wet summer. So that's
Mr.
why
Al-
we're delayed.
I have a question, okay? If the two gentlemen would like to come down onto the property, onto your property, to see once they, once they start planting, is that gonna be okay with you?
I always welcome people.
Okay, well, I need to ask you because it's your property and I don't want any problems, so if the two gentlemen that are here tonight, if they'd like to go down, then just set up an appointment with Mr. Ali and go down and see, he'll explain everything to you, what he's gonna do, where they're gonna go, and if you have any issues or any concerns, feel free to contact Toby and she'll get a hold of me, okay? Does that sound fair? Okay, all right.
I'm here anytime from 6:30 to 6:30 AM to PM.
Ollie, what kind of trees are those that you're planting?
It's all in the plan.
Norway spruce.
Norway spruce?
Yeah.
And they only grow 8 feet high?
No, they come in 8 feet, but it grows higher.
They'll grow 50 feet high.
I don't know how far it goes.
How many feet apart are the trees in the ground?
How many feet?
Yeah, what's the
How many feet?
spacing?
I
One
think it's
tree
roughly
and
about
another
15 feet apart, I think.
3 feet.
15. 1-5.
Because they're
Are
gonna
you
spread out.
sure that there's enough new nutrients in the soil because a tree needs 25 feet?
But the plan, the design engineer has done it, 25 feet will be too far apart.
Okay, so these trees,
This is for screening,
yeah,
Alan.
these are for screening. But if they grow, they're gonna grow to 30 feet high, but they won't have enough width. You're gonna have to chop in between. Maybe if you were to say 8 feet apart, it should be 20 feet apart, but it's better this way, then you cut the tree down and just have the trees grow together.
I don't have that much knowledge. I just work here. That's too technical for me.
Okay.
If you want me to take some trees down, I can do that.
Okay, so is everybody satisfied with the planting?
Is a question.
Oh, yes, sir.
I have one question,
Go ahead.
and I don't know whether it pertains to this meeting tonight or not. It's the design of the surface drain coming off the hill.
Is that the Dulvert?
The culverts,
Okay.
okay, number one, the one that I can see from 140 has been blocked for a month, 2 months, I don't know how long, it's just loaded with crap. But I followed the extension of Stillwater Heights, and the contractor built that. And the town made them change the style of the covers to collect more water coming off of that hill. If you take a look at the covers going on Stillwater, the new section, you'll see the design of the covers traps more water, which would prevent it from going out on the 140. And I think you're gonna have the same issue coming off the hill there. And I would think that should be addressed now, before winter, if that comes down there and freezes, you're gonna have a safety issue.
I don't see a problem.
Are they blocked?
No, what happens is since we don't have the berms done
Yeah.
and the sidewalk done on the entrance part, which I'm working, that will be the last thing I'll be working on.
Okay.
Then all the water will be collected within the catch basins of the project. It's not supposed to pass, I think it's like 50 feet. 50 feet of the road pavement is supposed to go on 140's catch basin.
Okay.
50 feet deep. On the bottom part of the 50 feet, because of the elevation, is going on the thing. It was calculated 3 times by VHP and my design engineer. It's not supposed to go.
Okay. And when is the sidewalk gonna be finished?
We're trying to finish everything before December,
Before
completely. The whole project will be done by December.
Okay.
I think, for his concern is, there are a couple of times, there was lot of flooding, and because of the rain, it did go through the Route 12, right? Main Street. And I know that there is one other resident also, not here. She did complain that she was driving through, and then so much water, she had trouble. So after that, I think, you did contact, or somebody did
VHP
contact
was
you.
there.
VHP came in,
That
there
time
was
the
the
campuses were
block.
not open.
So all those things were blocked.
Okay.
That's the reason there was a lot of water. So that thing has been fixed. So there shouldn't be any flooding in the main roads.
Well, right now they're covered with debris,
Okay.
rocks piled up over it, or gravel just piled over it.
Is that true?
No, what we do is, we at the catch basin, since we don't have the berms, we put stone there, because DCR requires me that silt doesn't go on the road. So we put stone next to the catch basin, so all the water goes into the catch basin. Because catch basins are an inch higher than the pavement now, because we had to bring the finished pavement right on the catch basin. See, that's why we put stone behind the catch basin, so water can stop and go into the catch basin, doesn't go on the road.
So you will fix it.
Yes.
Is that answer yours?
I don't
So-
know, all I know that
Yeah.
the drainage, the covers there are different than what's on Stillwater, and the Stillwater pipes, the town, they never change them over. They're slanted, the holes in the cover are slanted towards the upper hill, so the water comes down and comes in at an angle instead of
Grids. You're talking the grids, they made them.
the grades, yes.
Because maybe the pavement was too flat. It happens, what happens is if the pavement is too flat and it's not pitched to the catch basin, then what they do is they put a little bit tilted grids for that.
Maybe you could forward it to the VHP.
Okay,
Then
'cause
they go to the next time and maybe take a look at it.
Okay.
No, VHP had looked at it.
Yeah, because I was out there with VHP when they first had that problem, and they said that it was functioning.
Everything is functioning good there. All the
But I'll check
detention
with,
ponds are working.
I will double check with VHB, just see, we'll go out and have it look. Did you hear what I just said? I will contact VHB and see if they can just go out and just double check it. Like I said, when we had, a few months back, I think it was, we had a big flood, and somebody had sent us an email about it, and I personally went out there with VHB, and it happened to be raining that day. And, they told us what needed to be done, we sent it to Mr. Ali, and they went back and inspected it and said that it was functioning properly. Can you just make sure that the catch basins are not clogged, that there's no...
Not.
Okay,
I'm there till 7:30, whenever it rains,
okay,
I make sure everything is in control.
all right, okay. Worst comes to worst, I'll go up there tomorrow and look at the catch basins myself.
But tomorrow it's raining.
I said a related question, that retention basin that's fenced in the front, two-part question, I guess, is that a permanent structure, and then is that intended to capture the rain, the runoff?
Yes.
It's not the most aesthetically pleasing structure, but I just want, that's gonna be there permanently in its current form? And that's where the runoff is supposed to run into, I think, right?
Well, have you seen the catch basins that are on the reservoir that they put in? Those are not attractive either, at least, but they're there for a purpose, so, I understand exactly what you're saying. I'm driving by that every single day, and it's like, okay, I thought it was gonna be, I didn't realize that they were gonna be as huge as they were. When they first explained the project, it looked like they were just gonna be, something, to catch the water so it didn't go into the reservoir. Then all of a sudden, when they started digging and they finished, these things were like humongous. So I understand exactly what you're saying, but that's the purpose of it, so. Anything else? Mr. Raj, no?
No.
Nothing? Charlie? Okay. All right, one last thing, okay? It looks like Peabody's sent out the affordable rental agreement opportunity.
Actually, we have 17 applications already.
Okay. Well, that's great, that's great. There was a couple of things, and I know we talked about this when I visited you, is like, I saw outdoor grilling station, and I'm like, okay, I don't remember seeing that on the plan, you know, so I wanted to know exactly where that was, and you showed that. So, so that was a good thing. But everything else looked fine. I mean, like I said, we took a tour and everything went well. The pet-friendly pet station, I didn't see that on the plan either, but you did show me it's
You
over.
have some grass area.
Yeah,
It
okay.
will be designated, otherwise it's tough to maintain the pet spot.
Okay. One last thing that I have, and somebody asked me this, wanted to know. Okay, we're looking at the rents for the affordable apartments. And somebody asked, well, what are the rents for market value? Do you have that?
Yeah, it's already, it should be
Like for
Yes.
one bedroom, what is the market price for that, roughly?
roughly $1,500.
1,500. And what about the two-bedroom?
16, I think 1675 something,
And the three-bedroom?
19 and up.
19 and up. Okay. All right. All right. So you'll contact Mr. Ali about making arrangements to go down to the property. It's on record that that I asked for permission for you to go down there, okay? If you have any questions, he's the one to talk to. If you're not happy with the answers that he's given you, contact Toby, and she'll contact the board, and we'll go from there. Sound fair? Okay. I just want to make sure that we're not forgetting you. I know that this has not been the most pleasant project, but I just want to make sure that, you know, as we're going forward, that, you know, we're going to try to keep it moving in the right direction, okay? Anything else?
On the planting parts, no one is going to be happy if they don't like this thing. This is the plan which has been approved. I'll show them where the plants are going.
Okay,
I cannot change the plan unless I come to ZBA.
I understand that.
And I'm under the gun right now, so I want to finish up the project.
Okay.
I have to head to my next project.
Okay, no, that's fine. But I just, you know, they had concern. We talked in April.
Yeah.
You agreed. You said the plantings would be done by Halloween. I said we'd bring this back in August. That's why I put it on the thing. And when I talked to you last Friday, you said okay. And that's why these two gentlemen are here. So I just want to make sure that it's okay for you, for them to come to your property. And now they're gonna contact you to make the arrangements.
No problem.
Okay? And if they have any questions, they'll contact Toby and she'll contact us. Okay? Anything else from Mr. Ali while he's here? No? Charlie? No? Thank you, Mr. Ali, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, unfortunately, there's no update on 92 North Main Street from the building inspector. He's on vacation. So we'll have to wait till he comes back, and then maybe he'll go out there and look at it to see what's going on and send us something, and I'll make sure that Toby sends it on to everybody on the board so you know what's going on. Okay. This one here about the 40B violations, okay? There's been a couple of 40B violations over in Alpha Terrace, and the town's been working, Affordable Housing Trust has been working with CHAPA to try to rectify the problem. And one of the problems was a gentleman that was renting a unit over there, and to make a long story short, he lost, and the town wound up collecting $19,000 after he sold his house because of this. There's two other violations over there, and CHAPA's working on them. And one of the things that was asked of me at one of their meetings was to see if the ZBA, because it's a 40B project, you know, and, you know, we're still kind of in the limelight, if we had any questions for the Affordable Housing Trust or the housing specialist about how we would handle 40B violations in the future, if there are any. So I'd like you guys to just kind of think about some of that stuff, you know, and if you have any questions, you know, that you want to ask, please send them to Toby. Toby will pass them on to me, and I'll make sure that they get to the Affordable Housing Trust and Housing Specialist. Okay, Charlie? Okay, Raj?
Yep.
Okay. And Chris?
Yep.
All right. All right, we don't have any, there's no mail or paperwork that needs to be signed, is there?
After the meeting, I'll have timesheets.
Okay, yep, okay. Anybody have anything, any items, any ZBA reports that they want to make?
I have none.
No? No?
No,
No, okay. All right. The update on the possible filing fee increase, has anybody given any thought to that? I'm still working on it, I'm trying to get some information.
I thought you will be collecting all the data.
I am gonna.
From other
collect it.
towns.
I just want to make sure that everybody knows.
Let me know if you need a hand with any of
Yep,
it.
okay. All right, we still got a few minutes left, okay. The ZBA filing forms, has anybody looked at the forms, have any questions? I know I had asked you to look at them, because I know you did such a wonderful job for the
Yeah, I
for the
haven't,
planning board.
I haven't.
Chris?
And I have, I've gone through, maybe not all the forms, but a number of the forms, and I do have little things that I think that the board might want to consider
Okay.
amending.
All right, so will you be able to bring that to us in our next meeting?
Sure,
Okay.
sure.
All right, so we'll look forward to that. Okay, all right, let's continue because we still have about 10 minutes. The next ZBA meeting, okay, as we know, our next meeting is actually scheduled for September 21st, but it happens to be a Jewish holiday. Toby will not be here. So I had asked the board 2 months ago, I guess, or
Mhm.
last month,
Mhm.
to consider either the 14th or the 28th of September. I already checked with Nancy Lucia to see if this room was available on either one of those dates. She said they're available. So whatever date we pick, Toby will send her and the town clerk and Pat and Karen Paray an email telling them that we're gonna change.
Is it 28th is good for everyone?
It's fine for me. Charlie,
Either
the
one is
28th of
fine.
It's
September,
fine.
good for you?
okay.
Okay.
28th is fine for
Okay.
me.
It's fine for me.
So Toby, the 28th, okay? And,
Let's take a few minutes recess.
And I seem to recall that Mr. Orsiani had as good of a chance at making either day.
okay,
So,
that's fine. And we're not gonna, we'll just go with the 28th and stuff. Okay, so that's taken care of.
We need to wait for Mr. Benson.
one more board member.
Yeah. Why don't we take a recess?
All right, we're gonna take a short recess until 7:45.
It's very efficient.
Recess.
If I can ask, what are you gentlemen here for?
The special permit 745, Westchester Woods.
For Woodland?
Nice and early.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. Very good. Thank you
We
for
know
that.
it's summer.
Toby, everything that we received about Woodland Street, you've passed on to them?
I believe so.
Okay. You've gotten,
I haven't seen anything since I know we have the year data there. Is there
did you get anything? Basically, we're looking
Seen
for,
comments.
yeah, from the Board of Health, they said they had no issues.
Okay.
The Conservation Commission had no issues. Unfortunately, well, we'll talk about it, but the planning board, usually they send us comments,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, they don't meet until next week,
Okay.
okay? So it was really, there's really not much from them.
No feedback, no adverse feedback, which is,
No, they had, well, we'll talk about it
oh, all right.
when we
I
open up.
have an extra copy
There's a
of
lot
the
of
three. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
And the.
Do you have anything additional for us?
No, just the presentation.
Okay, all right, all right.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Did you read it?
Yes. Yep, exactly.
Okay, let's get this shit.
I wanted to help, so we can, you know, I would, it's, you don't wanna say, fall down the stairs.
Do you have, Toby, do you have a copy of the petition for Mr. Benson?
I left it.
Left it over here?
Where am I sitting?
Right here.
I think you were sitting in the center.
This is the,
Yeah, no, I don't do that anymore.
Did you not come to it?
Hey, you're right on time.
I was right on time for this meeting.
But I was 3 minutes early.
Want it noted for the record, 3 minutes early?
Okay, we're back, and we now have one of our associates, Mr. Benson, who has graciously come to help us tonight with this special hearing, okay? So we have a public hearing. The zoning board of appeals will hold a public hearing at the West Boylston Town Offices, 140 Worcester Street, West Boylston, Mass., on Thursday, August 17, 2017, at 7:45 to act on the petition of Wachusett Woods Realty Trust, 217 West Boylston Street, West Boylston, Mass., for special permit for the reduction of required frontage from 120 feet to 100 feet and development of a revised lot, Lot 4R, with one single-family house with a minimum frontage of 100 feet and over 2 acres in area at Lot 4 on the southwesterly side of Woodland Street, Assessors Map 174, Parcel 45, West Boylston, Mass. Record title stands in the name of Wachusett Woods Realty Trust, Joseph Evangelista and Gary DeWolf, trustees, 217 West Boylston Street, West Boylston, Mass. Copies of the petition are on file in the office of the town clerk, 140 Worcester Street. All interested parties are invited to attend the hearing. Okay. All right, so this is what we're gonna do, okay? We'll let you, petitioner, make your presentation. Once you're done, the board will ask questions, okay? Then we'll open it up to the public,
Where is it?
and then you can respond, we'll let you respond if anybody has any questions or concerns. And then we'll close the hearing, and then the board will deliberate, okay? All right, so you're on, just state your name for the record and your address so that Toby can jot it all down.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and members of the board. My name is George Carizzi. I'm an attorney here in West Boylston, 294 West Boylston Street, West Boylston. And with me tonight is Ronald Thunberg. He's a registered land surveyor, professional land surveyor. He's also a good help surveying, engineering, and he's also from West Boylston.
Speak up.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is George Carizzi. I'm an attorney here in West Boylston. And with me tonight is Ronald Thunberg, who's a registered professional land surveyor, who's also from West Boylston. We represent Wachusett Woods Realty Trust, the owner of the property. We have filed an application for a special permit seeking a reduction in the required frontage from 120 feet in a single-family residence zone to 100 feet. Mr. Thunberg is the surveyor who prepared the plan, which is on file as part of this application. We filed an application, a request for rulings, and a short legal memorandum, statement of facts that we would rely on as part of our application. This property is somewhat uniquely situated. Well, before I do that, let me discuss procedural posture as to how we got here. So the bylaws create, obviously, zoning dimensional requirements for all lots. So they create size, area, setbacks, frontage, width. That's what the zoning bylaws provide for. And this property is located mostly in a single residence zone. small corner of this property is in the business zone. But for the most part, this particular lot, and I'll show you on the plan if I may.
Yep, go ahead.
Stan,
Yep.
I hope I'm loud enough without the mic to be picked up. This lot, you'll notice this small corner up here is in the business zone, but for the most part, the lot is located in the single residence zone. My client is looking to put a single-family residence on this lot with a reduced frontage to 100 feet in order to meet the 100-foot width. So if the frontage reduces to 100 feet, then the width requirement is reduced to 100 feet, and therefore, this lot would accommodate a single-family residence. The house would be built in the pork chop or the flag portion of the property located here. So West Boylston is unique, and I would say proudly so, that they provide for a reduction in frontage in single-family residence zones from 120 feet to no less than 100 feet by means of a special permit, rather than by means of a variance. The onerous, burdensome task of qualifying for a variance, West Boylston recognizes that there are instances where the relief might be made without the variance procedure. So, my client, knowing that exists, we've prepared and filed an application for special permit for that purpose. And West Boylston recognizes that. So, we're here tonight requesting a reduction in the frontage to 100 feet so that a single-family home can be built here. What that's gonna allow them to do is it's gonna allow them to use this lot, which is located, at least the frontage portion of this, in the business zone. So the lot next door would be a conforming business zone lot, and this lot would be a conforming residence zone lot, with the assistance or the aid of a special permit. So we filed the application to that effect. There's certain criteria that the bylaw has, enumerated. So although we've addressed them in our application, I know it's something, but I'll quickly, run you through how we believe we meet the criteria of the bylaw. First, access to this property is going to be completely, it's going to be from a public way, Woodland Street. The access is going to be exclusively located on this lot. We're not asking, there's not going to be driveway easements, there's not going to be any common driveways. The access for both vehicle, pedestrian, and utilities are all going to be over the lot. So that's one of the criteria of the bylaw. They talk about ingress and egress, whether or not it's going to be safe accommodations. We believe that this will provide a safe, bear in mind that it's a single-family residence that's going to be built there. Plenty of area for the location of driveway, access, and utility across this lot without going onto any of the abutting properties. The board concerns itself with danger of pollution. Now, special permits could apply to multiple uses, and that may be a more significant consideration on other uses. But in this use, it's a single-family residence. We contemplate no adverse effect on natural facilities or environmental facilities, waterways. I did, before the meeting, reviewed some emails. Concom's reviewed, or at least to see what we're proposing. I don't believe they have an issue. I don't believe there's any environmental issues raised with the construction of a single-family residence on this lot as proposed. The property, the lot, as developed, or as it will be developed, will be connected to municipal sewer. So we're not looking at Board Health, we're not looking at private septic systems.
So the sewer line goes down Woodland?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, and Ryan's the Dunbar, he's the engineer who's certified.
Okay, before you go any further, I just have a quick question. Down here, at the end of the thing, it says, existing 30-foot wide sewer easement. See Plan Book 712, Plan 69. So is there a sewer line
There's
there?
a force main that goes through there. Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's part of the DCR.
All right. Okay, so, and that's not gonna be any,
We're not tying it to that. We're not
okay,
proposing.
so are you going over it, under it?
You'd be driving over it, so the house would be in the backyard.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it has to be available, so in case something happens, they can dig it up.
Yes, you have to leave it open.
All right. I'm sorry, go ahead.
The next criteria deals with noise, vibration, glare, dust, smoke, heat and odor, and again, it's a single-family residence, to be a single-family home, we don't anticipate any extraordinary impact on those considerations, anything that would pose a particular, nuisance to the town. There is a consideration about refuse disposal, single-family home, trash will be removed, consistent with all the other trash pickup. The lot otherwise conforms completely with the zoning bylaws, so all setbacks will be met. Area is there, in fact, the lot is a little oversized, under the bylaw, so there's plenty of area, there's plenty of, room for setbacks, all the other dimensional requirements of the zoning bylaw are satisfied. And then they ask, or the criteria is the use in general compatibility with the purpose and intent of the bylaw? And the use here is a single-family residence. So the use is, we are planning to use the property for the use that the zone contemplates. So we don't see any incompatibility with the bylaw. And, I said, that West Boylston is unique in that they have this, this reduction in frontage. Some towns have, estate lots or pork chop lots and stuff. West Boylston does it this way, and I think, when I said proudly so, I think it's something that the town should take pride in, that they recognize this exact type of situation. So we're here tonight asking the board for relief so that this lot can be developed as a single-family lot and allowing a more efficient and better product on the commercial lot next door. It'll have minimal impact on abutters. We have no abutters in the audience tonight. And it's just, given the fact, given what we have with the building, the business line being where it is, we think this is almost tailor-made for this type of application. So we respectfully request that the board grant the special permit to reduce the frontage for this lot to 100 feet.
What is what's to the left of the property? Yeah, is that a house?
I think these are houses, right? These
House.
Single-family houses.
Single-family houses, okay. And the other thing I have is the driveway there that goes from lot 5 down, the one that's,
That's an existing paved driveway.
okay, so what's gonna happen to that driveway once they build the house?
It will get removed. It has no use right now.
It has
The
no-
driveway for that new house or the existing house that was over there has its own driveway now fronting on Woodland Street.
Okay, so there is a house now on lot 5?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there is.
And there's no easement associated with that driveway as
No,
far as you
we
know?
made sure, we did the original survey for the whole parcel. So we
Okay,
made sure there was no easement for it.
okay.
There's a house here on lot 5?
Yes, I believe so.
That's
Well, no, are you talking lot 5, or
No,
you're
no,
talking the
this-
butter to the north?
No,
this one right here.
yeah, that one there, there's no.
Yeah,
Okay,
the abutter to the
and then now on lot 5,
Lot 5, there's nothing there.
there's nothing there, it's an empty lot.
It's an empty lot.
Okay, so that driveway was just so that they could go from Woodland Street across lot 5 over to lot 4? Is that what the
That
purpose?
driveway is an original driveway that dates back years to the Larsons,
Okay,
and that was the driveway to their home back then.
okay. So this was, so with that, was that all one property at one time?
It was all one property at one time.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
and then so,
And this-
okay. Okay.
Dave,
Now, go ahead, John.
Are you gonna just build one house on this triangular thing, this 2 acres?
Yes.
Just one house?
One house on this property, on lot.
No, that's what you said.
Yes.
And I said, gee, you could build 3 or 4 houses on there, it seems.
Well, not with the.
Let's not get carried away.
So, these lots here are business lots. So these are gonna be built under the business bylaw. This will be built single-family, because most of this is single-family. And this lot will also kind of buffer the business use from the residential uses next door.
So who owns this lot, this side lot?
Wachusett Woods.
Same company.
Wachusett Woods, yes.
That's quite a driveway, 300 feet
Yeah,
to the house.
yeah.
So lot, I guess I don't understand, lot 4 and lot 5 are going to be divided to allow this driveway to connect?
No, the driveway is just an existing driveway that's out there.
So the plan reflects what's on the ground.
Right.
It's not in use, there's nobody using, it's a driveway to.
No, I'm not concerned with the driveway, I'm trying to picture, so we have Woodland. So we have Woodland Street over here,
Come on, got
this
it.
is the lot 4,
That's what I
where
think
they're
they
proposing to
did.
reduce frontage.
No?
Yes.
So where is the frontage reduction occurring?
Up here. It's not-
Okay, so okay, so it's gonna be 101.
10169, yeah.
Alright, so is this little piece being cut off for the purposes of keeping it out of the residential?
No. But we're able to carry, I mean, the entire use is gonna be in here, so, this is not able to be developed commercially because it's so little commercial land on it, so, this is gonna be single-family residence, but with 100 feet, and because they require the width to be, the width through the lot has to be.
Right, narrow point.
Right, that's why we were asking for.
Okay, so it narrows ever so slightly as you go back.
This is.
So again, this is a single residence.
Yes.
This is the only business.
Visualize the frontage is on business.
Business. But can he use this lot as a single family?
No.
They wanted to.
Yeah. But it's mostly, that one's mostly
Kind of over there.
industrial business.
No, but single family here. I know. But this is the only industrial lot.
Driveway.
But if they want to, they can.
That's for our future.
So,
Yeah.
Not exactly.
yeah, but roughly speaking, where's that driveway, or where's that frontage? So it's, this is all the frontage?
This is the curve that goes down to the intersection. So if you can imagine the triangle over here, that's the triangle. This is the pattern now has changed. This is one way coming down this way, which is good. So, this is the way down Pinecrest. So Pinecrest will be sitting here. This is further up on the street. Okay?
So.
But there used to be a stop sign here. I think it's
Right.
throughway now. So they come through that.
So, all right, so Pinecroft is over,
Yeah, I would say right here. It's right here.
is there, so. Okay,
You're coming down with.
Right, right,
All right.
so,
So the medical center is over here. Okay? So, like I said, you're driving into the medical center on this side, or Woodland is probably on this side.
the medical center roughly in this area? Sorry, it's here, here, and kind of, this is sort of across the street.
Yes.
I'm difficulty figuring out why that's on Woodland. So this Woodland, Woodland basically turns the corner, is that what?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Woodland was.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
okay, so, because I'm picturing the tennis courts are over here?
Tennis courts?
The tennis courts on Woodland?
Way out the other side.
Yeah, but it,
Way out.
so like over here,
Yeah, well, it'd be way out, that's down towards.
towards the, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so the tennis court's there, I come down the street, and then I take a right at the Prospect. Okay, now good picture,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, so now, at the top of the property, it's right there on Woodland, it says it's 101.69.
Yes.
Okay. At the bottom, right there, no, at the very bottom, right in, yeah, that, is, what is the distance? Is that 100, over 100 feet?
100. It's 100.
Exactly 100?
Those lines are parallel going back.
So what happens is that this is a little over 101, because it's on a curve.
Okay.
The radius is a very long curve, so it's almost straight, but
That's not a curve, it's because of the angle.
Right.
Going into the property.
Okay. Because the reason I'm asking is because it has to be 100 feet, the width, all the way to the front of the house, okay? And that's why I'm concerned, because the house is gonna be built on that big, huge piece of property. But I need to make sure that at the bottom of the end of the street, the end of the road, that's at least 100 feet or more.
That is exactly what the number is.
So right here,
From this point, Mr. Chair, from this point to this point,
yeah.
down, the lines are down.
Okay, all right, that's what it was. The other thing was, is, what we did get from the, excuse me, from the planning board, where is Pinecroft Avenue in conjunction to this?
That is probably another, we would divide the house, barber shop,
Okay,
corner.
because-
So he's probably the 2 lots down, I think.
okay, because what the planning board, they sent us something saying that even though the comments were simple thoughts for the consideration, they wanted, is there adequate capacity in the culvert below Pinecroft Ave to pass the increased stormwater runoff items associated with development on this lot? They seem to remember that culvert in Pinecroft Ave has caused backwater onto properties on Pinecroft and Osgood to the southeast of the proposed lots. Do you know anything about that? So I've talked to DPW director about it, and he didn't have any complaints.
Yeah, it's not, I think that's more a DPW issue than anything else.
Okay.
It would be, right? I mean,
All right.
having a problem with a pipe that would make that.
Okay.
And it's a single family house lot, it's not gonna increase flows very much, it doesn't require stormwater management, so I would imagine it would be a major impact.
How far is the house gonna be from the back property? Do you have any idea? Because I see that the property is, that's,
This
his,
is a big field back here.
right, and that's right on the West Boylston Holden line,
It
right?
is, yeah, there's a patch of wetlands that probably is up in here,
Okay.
the flag, but we haven't come up with an actual design for exactly where it's gonna go.
But the house is not gonna be in
It's gonna
the,
be below, yeah, in the back part of the lot.
okay, so it's not gonna be within that 100-foot.
No. Absolutely.
What are the sight lines like there? And obviously, they changed that intersection because of the hazards, so what are we looking at as far as, now we're putting a driveway there, yeah, that's, in the past has been an issue. I understand there's been a lot of car accidents there, which is why they changed the traffic.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing for this lot. I think, because they changed those traffic patterns, this was, with both of those intersections were pretty bad for a long time. It seems to have calmed down and they've done anything. So, a car exiting here, taking a right, is only gonna go look left, right? And then car exiting here, we'll still have lots of traffic, but he won't have both this lane and this lane coming up at him. He'll only have the stuff that's in front of him coming up the hill. So it'll be a normal crossing for any kind of pattern that's going on. The site distances are good, so we get through into the driveway, it's not like you're being blocked by anything. This is a state highway layout, so for the most part, this has been cleared. So once you get out there, you can see both directions.
So to this, from the driveway going south, is that where it's now one way? No, so that's going to Holden. So is it,
It's one way coming down the hill.
okay. So if they, but where they'd be pulling out, they can turn right or left?
This lot, yes. This lot, they could take a right and go down the hill this way, or they could take a right and go down to the one way, or they could take a left and go shoot towards the double way. This lot would only be able to go right.
The lot 5 would only be able to go right, okay.
Yeah.
So lot 5 must be where the one-way is.
Yes,
With a triangle?
yes.
Any other questions? Raj? Chris?
There's nothing on these lots. Lots number 5, there's nothing on there. There's this Wachusett Woods. No houses are built on there. And, is there like a cape back in the woods there, around there, a white cape?
It would be off of Pinecroft Ave, I believe. I don't think there's any, there are no structures on this lot whatsoever. It's taken this year.
I'm confused as hell. I don't even know where this place is. It's, I mean, there's no landmarks to go by.
I think that,
This little guy is,
that I found helpful. Helps
Yeah,
you,
that's
but
the
looking
only
at that
one.
was the,
yeah,
You know what Pinecroft is, right? You know what Pinecroft ice cream is?
yeah,
So if you stand at Pinecroft Ice Cream, you look across the street, and you got the triangle.
yeah.
So it's that land right across from the triangle.
So look right through the triangle.
Right through the triangle, it's basically. the
So
width.
further up the street, up Woodland Street, isn't there a white cape in the
It
woods?
could be further up there, yeah, that might be the second or third.
Okay, so that doesn't, this is back this way.
Right.
So what are you gonna do with lot number 5 after?
That's gonna be built
Business use,
under the business.
Business.
zone, Under the business zone.
yes, this would allow.
So whatever is allowed under business, they're gonna, look to see what they can put in.
And this guy Pope, Michael Pope, has a house on that lot?
Which one, oh, yes, I believe so,
There's a house on there.
yes.
Jeez, you guys aren't drawing up these things so that I can understand them. It's gotta be
Apologize.
stupid people for me. And I don't understand it because I don't see any houses on there.
And that, yeah, I'm sorry. I think I've got it visualized correctly. The UMass is right here.
Yes, exactly.
Now, just back to the issue that was raised with the planning board. I mean, it does sound like if the intended use is single-family residence, that's probably not gonna significantly impact, drainage. But I'm thinking more, during construction, if there will be things that will take place to make sure that while they're tilling soil and working there, that there will be, remedial, issue.
I'm certain that, Ronnie had mentioned that there may be some wetlands
Yeah.
on the back of it. I'm
Yeah.
certain that, we'll have to meet with Concom if we're building within 100 feet of
Yeah.
the wetland, and there'll be, silt fences and protection. It's still pretty far removed
Yeah.
from that particular culvert that's in question. So, the activity is gonna be driveway activity, so you could have, they're gonna have clearing, you're gonna have driveway activity.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure that we can button that up during construction, make sure that we have hay bales and silt fences to make
Yep.
sure we don't have erosion down grade.
Okay. And you mentioned earlier that whatever the plan for that lot ultimately ends up looking like, you will still be complying with all required setbacks and yards and all that, so that will be complied with. Now, would you have an issue, were the board to grant the special permit with a condition that the use of this lot be limited to a single residence, type of use with a single detached, one-family dwelling, as it says in the bylaw?
On this lot?
On that lot.
Absolutely no problem.
You'd be all right with that
100%.
condition? Okay.
Yeah, we don't like surprises.
No, I appreciate it.
Don't want to have to approve a special permit and then find out that you're building 4 condos on that property and
This is
oh,
what
wait
we
a
do.
minute now.
This is, and I've told Wes that this is, and he, by the way, he confirmed with them years later last week, absolutely single-family home,
Okay.
That wouldn't be allowed in that residence anyway, this is single-family residence, not general residence, so condos, and that's multiple units and not.
and I don't think he can carry the business use far enough into this.
I think it's only
property
10 or 20
to-
feet or
exactly.
something, yeah.
So I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
So from that lot, if they are exiting Woodland Street, so they can go to the Prospect, right? The triangle thing?
Mhm.
So can that's a one-way, right?
It's a one-way now.
One way down, but they can go only one way to Prospect, right?
They can go one way.
Yeah, I have a better map here.
Yep.
So from here, if they go, they can go only from here to here?
I think this one's gonna be, because he's pulling out here, I think he's gonna be able to go down this road.
They way to,
Yeah. Put the next one down.
so they can go to Woodland as well as Prospect.
Yes,
So can they go this side? That's a one-way, right?
I believe so, yeah. Well, no,
No,
the
this
only
way-
one,
yeah, they can
the
go.
only
Yep,
one
yep,
is
yep,
right
yep,
there.
I get it,
Yeah.
okay. This may be for Charlie. So this map may be good for you.
Yes,
This,
that's much better.
Prospect goes there,
It's in my pack.
Woodland goes there, so the lot is here, this is the triangle.
Should be an engineer.
Charlie, any other questions?
No,
Mr. Benson?
No.
No, yeah, satisfied?
Oh, I did have one
Go
more
ahead, go
question.
ahead.
So you mentioned a letter from the chair of the planning board.
Yep.
We also did get feedback from, let's see, Board of Health, which said that they didn't have an issue,
And the,
presumably?
and the,
And Concom, did we hear from them?
yep, they had no issue either.
They didn't have an
Concom
issue
too?
either?
Yep.
Okay. So we've heard from those three boards, so we could at
Did they
least...
respond or were they just silent?
No, they responded, right? They sent us,
Concom, I don't think so.
I mean, I was hoping to go over the petition with Bill.
So, but we, as we sit here right now, do not have a document from Concom.
No,
If we're jurisdictional, we have to, I mean, there's no building without them, so, you know, as far as Concom is concerned, we'll be in front of them. If this is jurisdictional,
If we're doing any work within 100 feet of that wetland in the back, we would be in front of it.
it's not as though, it's, if they were dead silent on this, and they never saw it, it doesn't mean we skirt past them. We're in front of them, anyways with any proposal, so.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my concern isn't really a substantive issue, it's more of one of,
Comment?
giving them, because under the bylaw, we need to give them 35 days notice before we make final action. And I don't know that that 35-day clock has yet run. I don't know exactly when that was sent out to them. I think this was filed on
so we sent it
so
out the
July
same.
12th?
When did you send out the stuff to the Board of Health?
Concom.
You all send it out all at the same time, right?
yeah.
Do you remember
I think
when?
the last week of July.
Last week of July,
Okay.
so.
So
let's
I
see.
will
Still out
That
there.
would be
still
35
within
days.
35 days.
Now, this lot number 5, say you got approval for what you're asking for. Will this lot be eligible to build a house on it, on lot number 5?
Yes,
You could build a house
you
on
could build a house, you could build, whatever
Business use.
business uses are permitted under the bylaw.
it. And then this Michael Pope, he already has a house on this thing.
That's right.
Yeah,
We don't have anything
Oh,
from him.
that's correct, he's in a butter to the,
He has not made comment, correct?
Who?
Pope?
No?
Yep.
We have nothing from the abutters till we sent out all the things. There's nobody here, so. Any reason why Mr. Evangelista or Mr. DeWolf were not here?
they're in a wedding, out of state.
Okay.
Both of them, probably their sons getting married.
Okay.
And I apologize for it, but they asked me.
All right.
Thank you.
Anything else? Not seeing anybody from the public here, so I'll accept a motion to,
So before then, do we have to wait for the Concom?
Yeah,
or-
so
oh,
what do we?
That's
What do we
was
do?
gonna
on
say.
that?
Yeah. Before
I
you
have any
list
more
the,
questions, but.
Toby, you need to get a hold of Bill and tell him that we need something in writing, okay? Because it's holding this up now, okay?
Well, I don't think they have to submit anything in writing, they just have to have their, they
opinion.
either need to submit something or the 35-day clock needs to run. I don't think we need them to submit something. I mean, they could submit something and speed this along.
Right. And in fairness, the last hearing that we held
We
where
did,
we
we
had
did
this
get the
issue,
time.
we did wait the extra, time to allow for that to pass. So, I would think that it would behoove everybody if we treated every petitioner the same way.
But now, because our meeting is being pushed back a week, now we're past the 16th.
No, we've
We have
opened the meeting
open the
tonight.
meeting.
Now we have a new clock that started.
All right. So we're gonna have to wait for Comcom to send us something
No,
or reply?
It's
the
just the
35
35
days will
days.
pass by then, whether we get something or not.
Okay, so then at the next meeting, we can,
Next meeting, we can, if
We can vote
if
on
we keep it open, really for that purpose only,
okay,
unless somebody else from the public wants to show up at that meeting.
all right. So tonight, all we're gonna do is just continue it.
I think that makes the most sense to me. I don't know if
So
anybody
there
else.
is, yeah, we have a procedure, so I think, we need to follow the procedure.
Okay.
So, by tomorrow, the Concom comes, and if they give you some other thing,
One way or
opinion,
the other, they
then we
certify
cannot
whether
go
they
back.
respond or not.
Yeah, we cannot go back.
Council have passed.
But we're not gonna be able to vote on this until our next
Till
meeting.
next meeting.
Yes.
You understand?
No, and
Paul,
that's,
I
I
know it
understand,
sounds
no, I
harsh.
get it, and that's fine. My biggest fear always on special permits is the supermajority requirement. So then we run a risk of not having a full contingent of the
Yeah.
board at the time. But, I understand procedure, I got no problem with it. When is the board meeting next?
September 28th.
Can you make that, Mr. Benson?
Yeah, Mr. Benson, can you make that?
Oh, I think I can.
And we'll set
I'm
the
away
meeting.
for 2 weeks in September, but I
Okay.
don't think that is in the window. So, wait, 9. Yes, I will be back then.
Okay, and we'll make the meeting for 7:15.
It'll be the shortest hearing ever.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So you'll be in and out.
yeah, the 20th is not a problem.
Okay.
Great.
All
Why
right,
don't we do
so,
that? So I'll motion to
Continue.
continue the public hearing until September 28th at 7:15 in this room.
and Charlie seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Who
Okay, now,
who
do
made the
we need,
motion?
I did, Charlie seconded.
Okay.
do we need something from them for the
No,
continuation?
we're still within,
All right.
we're still within
You're still in time.
All right. Sorry about that.
No problem. Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
See you next month.
We'll see you in September. Good presentation.
I'm sorry?
I'm gonna give you a pen. This is one of my office pens. You just push it down and
Okay,
What's that?
then.
thank you. Stay.
Take care.
Do we have additional,
There's one other thing left.
Only one other thing. And it's brief, exceptionally brief.
Yeah.
all right, exceptionally brief, I'll stay around.
All right, so the last thing on the agenda is the reorganization of the board, okay? So,
So you
Let's
want
hear-
to be the chair?
No, I do not.
okay, so
I
let's,
can make a motion, you know.
I'll filibuster that.
Go ahead. What?
I'm waiting. What do you want to do? All right, if
Is there any discussion?
Any
if you
discussion?
want me to stay on for another year, I
Yes.
will.
I mean, I think at this point, if we're gonna make a change, even if we were to consider it, it wouldn't be until the September meeting. And we'd be going through the same exercise again in June.
Okay.
It's 9 months away. I don't see a huge reason to change at this point in time.
Okay, so the only
I
thing,
think you're doing a good job.
okay,
I think it's excellent job.
all right, so I'll remain as the chair. So the only thing now we need to do is make a motion for
The
the
only
vice
thing
chair.
I would
Oh, go
put
ahead.
in there
Go
is, being an associate member, would this be better decided with a full member who's going to be more impacted than I am? I'm a little.
Well, you don't have to vote, you can abstain.
Well, I certainly can abstain, but I mean, I don't know whether, is Nate's away, is it,
He was here for the first discussion that we had on this, and I think
He's okay with that.
he didn't have a strong view.
yeah, I just feel uncomfortable taking his vote away, since he's the one who's far more affected than I am.
Okay, so why doesn't somebody just make a motion for me to remain as the chair?
I so moved.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, now, can you make?
I make a motion to Chris Olson to be the vice chair.
Okay, do I have a second?
Yes.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay,
Make a motion for Raj to be the clerk.
okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Toby, did you get all of that?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'd like for you to do tomorrow is to send out an email to the various boards telling them how we voted on the reorganization, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Any other business?
You really don't want to be the chair?
I tell you what, I will be chair of the associate members.
That I like.
Anything else? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to.
Motion
oh,
to
wait a minute,
adjourn.
Hold on.
Just for everybody to note that there's a pile
Oh, yeah.
of things that they might be interested to see, including, this is gonna end up being a filing
Okay.
that's gonna come up, for this home occupation. So you might just wanna look at it. Then there's a few other things, so.
Gosh, can I have
Mr. Benson,
this?
if you could
Yeah.
kind of look this over, and just kind of, I know you just associate, but I'd still like to hear your opinion on that.
It's not yours, right?
Something
It's
that's-
yours.
I've got mine. I've got mine here.
Okay. Also too, there's an email here from CMRPC. It's about an open meeting law regional training workshop. It's scheduled for Monday, September 18, 2017, at the Rutland Free Public Library on Main Street in Rutland. The workshop offered is free of charge. They'll update the guidance about compliance with the open meeting law. If anybody's interested, please contact Toby as soon as possible so that she can, send the information to them. Okay? Also, too, we got a memorandum from the town administrator outlining the semi-annual town meeting, October 16th, 2017. And basically, it's a breakdown of, when things are due, when the deadline is. I'm sure that Raj will keep us informed of what's going on, if there's any changes, if anybody has anything, Anything else? Anybody have anything else? No? Okay, I'll entertain a
Are you
motion.
close enough to be in the butter?
Lee? No.
I'll entertain a motion to.
Motion to adjourn?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay.
Who seconded?
Charlie.
Oh, okay.
What's the distance from, to be in a butter?
300.
300.
Oh, okay.